Welcome back, everybody. So, back on this Minneapolis Moline project. I kind of work on the paint part of this, but I got this hood here. It'd probably be the most logical thing to paint, but I don't know. Kind of a standing back from that because I don't want to mess it up. So, I'm gonna work on this steer axle. Work on pulling this out because get it cleaned up. Can't really do it while it's on the tractor there, so gonna work on pulling it out and then cleaning it up and whatnot. Gonna start by jacking this front end up. So it looks like there's not too much to hold this together. It's pretty simple. You got the tie rods on both sides. They just go up to that there, and then you just gotta push that pin out there, out the front, and that whole axle should come off, I believe. That seems pretty simple to me. It just comes right out the front here. At least that's the way I'm going to attack it anyways. We'll see what I can do. So I'm going to take the tie rod outer, what do they call it, outer tie rod end off first. Seems to be the easiest. Can't really get up into that inner, they call it inner tie rod. I guess that's what it's called. I'm going to try and take this off first. Already got this nut loose. Let's see if I can pop. Oh, it came loose. Okay. Now that's free. Then we can get this pin out. I got a piece of this old tie rod from the John Deere when I redid the John Deere steering. I needed to push that out and try there. Just hope it don't fall on me. Squish me like a bug. Oh, it's got grease on it, so that means good, huh? Try to put it out in a rag somewhere. No, I think the steering should just come out of there. Is holding it. Come down. Well, we got it out. Kind of wedges into that piece up there. So there she is. I'll see if we can pick it up with the tractor and move it around so we can clean it up. Well, I've got this steer axle in here in the garage. Started cleaning on it a little bit. I don't think I need to take it apart. I'm not seeing excessive slop in anything. Everything seems to be nice and tight and smooth. So I don't think I need to take everything apart. There doesn't seem to be slop in anything really. Just needs to be cleaned up and repainted, I think. I mean, the bore seems fine with that pin that went through it. Doesn't seem like it needs any parts, but I don't even know where I would find parts if I needed them, you know. So everything looks okay. The inner and outer tie rod ends, they're worn a little bit, but I don't know where I would find those. So, you know, I just keep working on it. I'm just going to strip this paint off and this rust and stuff. Get a nice and clean surface like this here and repaint it. That's all I seem to think it needs. I don't think it really needs to be rebuilt. Okay, I'm going to take this plate off that axle hooks to. Looks like there's 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on the other side. So we'll get this setup taken off, and I want to take that, whatever you call that, for where the steering hook's up to. Take that off so I can get everything cleaned up and painted. We're winning now. Maybe? My toes out of the way. I'm trying to get that piece off. That way I don't have to take all this off anyway. There's only 3 bolts that hold it in, so it shouldn't be too hard. These look like the lug bolts, to be honest. And they go right up in here. Oh, let's see if I got a taper on that column so it centers, I guess. It goes right up in here. So there's that piece off with the tie rods, and a piece off the front. Looks a little different without that stuff on there. Piece by piece, I think. Get her all cleaned up, ready to paint. Changes colors, huh?
It's like a yellowish to a goldish.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like it smells like banana.
What? Smells like bananas?
Yeah. Smells like bananas.
Okay, now we're gonna clean up this piece. I won't go clear out here because this has already been painted, but I'll just go up here and blend it a little bit. So I got those nuts off, castle nuts or whatever you want to call those, but the couldn't get that pin out at all. Oh, where are you looking at? Okay, right there. Focus, come on. It's still in there anyway. So I don't know what I'm gonna do to try to get that out. Either pound it out, a punch or something, or I'll drill it out. I don't know. See if I can do this one-handed. There she goes. Well, we're getting a few things painted up here. Everything hanging here. That's hanging by a couple arm because it's so heavy. But I wanted to hang it so I could paint the whole thing at once. So. And that piece back there for the steering. And tie rods, that upper plate. We're starting to get everything painted up. Just covered everything in here with tarps so that way the walls and everything aren't covered in orange paint. Covered the floor with a little bit of plastic too. It's not too bad. I got this fire pit going. It's one out of a tent I had years ago. I don't have the tent anymore, but I still have the fireplace in it. Keeping things pretty warm in here. It's only about 40 degrees outside, so keeping her nice and toasty in here. Okay, I got all these parts painted up. Ready to go back on the tractor. So we're gonna get after it. And I got ahead of myself putting the axle in the way. Let's see what I can do. Really see much. Need both hands. I didn't really give myself a lot of room here. Go nuts. One started. Come on, start. There. Started. Yeah, let's go see if I can find a wrench. Getting this on here. Nice and tight. No, I didn't paint those bolts. I didn't think about that, but they'll be alright, I think. That's all painted up and ready to go back together. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is put this plate on first. And then bolt it up to the tractor, all assembled. You probably notice I got all this grease on here. Well, that's from this greasy pin. Oh, keep it on the deck, Stanley. Oh, that grease is cold, and it is a long pin. Let's see if I can set it somewhere. You get grease all over the ground. You know, it's good stuff. It's fun to step in. Okay, let's see if I can set this back on there. Maybe. Wind that up. So I can do this with you. I can get it started in there. Started anyways. Wonder what the back looks like. Really needs to come up in the back, looks like. Where it's at. Didn't put this in the best position. There. I was thinking it'd be easier to put it back on the tractor in this position, but goodness. I think we might need a little persuasion. I think I got it started in that hole on the back. There we go. Now I got that pin in there. Cotter pin on it. She's put back together. What did I say about getting grease all over everything? Goodness. There's just grease. Everything I touch is greasy, greasy, greasy. Because that pin. But, oh well, it'll clean off. Pull all these nuts off. Here. I probably need to get a jack out. Get it ready to lift this thing up. Got all these nuts that came off of there cleaned up pretty good. And it's not perfect, but I think it'll be good enough. I'm gonna try and raise it up and see if I can get a couple of these started. Probably try the ones that are the easiest right here on the front to get started. Put one there, maybe one there, I don't know. See if I can get this jack under it first. What are you doing? Well, as you can tell, lifting up with the jack was not the greatest idea. I mean, if I had some sort of a mount that would have held both sides of that axle, it probably would have lifted up straight. Something like a transmission lift or something. Could have lifted it better, but that didn't work so well. And so here I'm just using some C-clamps and wood clamps because that seemed to work the best. Lift it right up in the spot, and then you'll notice here in a minute I used a pipe clamp to squeeze the two sides together because it kind of separated on me, so I couldn't get the holes to line up on the top to put it back in. So, but we got it put back together, getting her back on there, and then here you can see I put the tires back on, and she's pretty much ready to go. Well, there, I got her put back together. It was a bit of work lifting that axle back on there, but we got her put back together. She looks a lot better. I'm excited to have that part done. I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.